Welcome, everybody, to the 10 Count Podcast brought to you by bodyslam.net. And boy, do we have an episode for you today. It is not our first podcast of the year, but is our first 10 count of the year because if you tuned in on Sunday, we actually got a quick count in on the first bit of 2026. So maybe that's showing things to come with the quick count on Sundays because there's a lot of wrestling to talk about, and we can't just do it in one day. Speaking of, if you look at our title, we have a big lineup. We have Raw, Stranger Things going upside down. We got New Year's Evil coming up, and we're going to do some bold 2026 predictions later on in the show. But first, Justin, I think there was a call we missed. I think there might be a red dot on the voice box like back in the day.
Yeah, no, it just came in under the radar. I got the notification, so I quickly uploaded it. So we do have a voicemail. So I believe it's from Matt S., a longtime listener. Love that guy. Let's give it a listen.
Hey guys, Matt here. What's going on? Just trying to figure out why the WWE ripped the rug out from underneath Maxine Dupree like that. I mean, I'm a big-time Becky Two Belts, the man, big-time Becky Lynch fan. Just trying to understand what creative has in store for Maxine or Becky. I mean, I'm assuming they're looking for a Becky AJ WrestleMania match for the title. Don't necessarily think it needs to be for the title, considering how personal things have gotten between the two. I mean, you're trying to say we're trying to look for the next franchise male, female superstar, and then you just rip the rug right out from underneath talent and then just throw them on the back burner, release them, and then off to AEW, TNA, New Japan. It just baffles me. But anyways, I'm going to catch the podcast coming up soon. I think it just started one live now. So yeah, I'm going to head to work, guys. Have a great night. Blessed night. Stay safe to all your families and everybody.
Thanks, Matt. And we
Thank
see
you,
you in the
Matt.
chat with the let's go. I love it. I love it. And what a way to segue into Raw going upside down, because to me, this was an upside down decision. I agree with you, Matt. I was kind of shocked, especially before the match started. Ivy Niles, like, I'm cutting back in front of the line. I'm like, okay, great. Slide back in a nice Ivy Nile Maxine feud to help keep pushing Maxine forward as the Intercontinental Champion. But we did not see that. I am kind of shocked. And maybe Matt has an idea, right? Maybe they want eyes on the Intercontinental Championship going into WrestleMania. And maybe they do want that title to shine. AJ versus Becky headlining, the mid-card for the women at WrestleMania, which I guess would make sense. And another point what Matt said too in the voicemail is they don't need titles to fight. They do have something personal. So weird decision. I have a lot of gripe with the card and what happened with this episode, especially after seeing SmackDown last Friday. But how did you feel about that, Justin?
I kind of expected it, but I thought maybe they would have kept the title on Maxine. But then after realizing she just got married on New Year's Eve, she's probably going to go on a honeymoon. So I don't know if we are going to now have a little hiatus for Maxine. But now the run is kind of diminished. Her title run is done. Like, it was not impressive at all. The match wasn't the best. I didn't like the finish at all. It was like she watched herself get pinned. I don't know. It was just a weird match. Obviously, what Matt said on the voicemail, they probably want to go AJ Becky, run up towards Mania. Completely understand it. Completely get it. Does it need a title? Like Matt said, probably not, but it just adds that much more to that match and the eyes to the Women's Intercontinental Championship leading up to Mania. So I get it. Maybe now we're going to get some videos of Natty in the dungeon with Maxine saying that wasn't good enough. And just like yelling at her, screaming at her, demanding more from her. And then maybe we'll get a more aggressive Maxine later on down the line. But hey, I thought Maxine was going to win. She didn't. I totally get it. It's Becky. Becky's the GOAT. But yeah, I guess we're going to see where it goes leading up to Rumble and Mania.
Yeah, I was definitely shocked, and yeah, I also was so, I guess, to me, watching that finish, and like you said, having Maxine like stare and like be like stuck in a way that it didn't really make sense to me was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And I do see like that mean streak of Maxine. We saw it during the match. So like I don't know how much more aggressive she can get. Maybe there is a side that she can really start, getting angry and doing what she needs to win matches and maybe turn heel. I don't know. I feel like she's a better face. So I guess we'll see. But even looking at the card on Monday, the women, we spoke about this, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. The women on Raw are dominating, are showing up, are showcased on the show. And there was like little to no men's mid card action. I know Dom's hurt, he's Intercontinental Champion, but we need competition, right? We need someone to step up in that mid card to be interesting to fight Dom. Dom can't just go against the main eventers as well and just leave the mid card gone. So, I mean, where do we go with the men? We have the main event scene, right? The Vision. We have Rey Mysterio. We saw Penta. We saw Dragon Lee show up. I was really hoping it was going to be Rey Fenix, but they just want to keep the Lucha Brothers apart. It tears me apart that they're doing that. But then we have Javon Evans, popping in, so maybe he can be the catalyst for the mid card to start a little bit. But that was really it for the men. I think it was CM Punk and Breaker, the Vision, and a version of the LWO, and Javon Evans. That is crazy to me.
And Javon was during a commercial promo. If you were watching on Netflix and you have the commercials, you didn't even really see that happen. You were getting a commercial while Javon Evans was getting the call up to Monday Night Raw. So the men, even tonight, we'll get into NXT New Year's Evil, but the card is just dominated by the women, and we love to see it. We've discussed this multiple times. The women are just, it's like they're putting in more work. They're putting out a better product than the men right now.
They are.
And I mean, yeah, you had 3 women's matches. The women were showcased on Monday, and then you had the main event with Punk and Breaker. That was it.
Yeah, and I'm a little frustrated, right? With the United States, we got the capitalism going on. Obviously, the US needs commercial breaks on Raw for Netflix. Everywhere else doesn't. And to me, like, that's kind of a slap in the face to your biggest audience, to your main audience. And like, to me, like, you guys make enough money as is. You have ads and sponsors on the mat. You have them around the ring. You have them on the apron. Like, do you really need to have big moments like Javon Evans getting a call up on a commercial break where the US audience can't see it? Like, that's your main audience who's going to guess up Javon Evans, who watches NXT. So I am just baffled that they did that. And I think they have to start kind of redirecting that decision, because with SmackDown being on a network like USA, they can't do that. And I think it works in their favor that they can't hide segments behind commercial breaks. They have to air it. So I think they have to rethink the Netflix decision big time with those commercial breaks, because it's really hosing the US audience.
Yeah, no, it 100% is, but it's not going to change.
Yeah.
When you're on a streaming platform, you're going to get the commercials for live TV. And that's why at some point I was even paying the extra money and then going with my VPN, going to Norway, wherever the hell I was watching it from, just so I could watch those segments, because those segments are important. And the fact that they're now doing those and you're not getting them when you're in the States is bullshit.
Yeah.
It sucks, dude. Like, I remember back a few months ago when it was Karrion Kross. Kross was cutting all these awesome promos, but they were all during the commercials. And he was the crowd was loving him. The crowd was eating it up. But then you'd have to wait until WWE socials are putting it out there because no one else saw it.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy decision. And I don't know. I don't know how you fix it. I just don't. And Netflix, you have the time. If you want to go 3 hours, you can. They have that option.
They can go 4. I can go 5.
Yeah, they can do whatever the hell they want. They have that option. They don't have a cutoff. So I don't know. It's just baffling. Like you said, it's a little frustrating, But right now, SmackDown, the first SmackDown of the year, blew
it away,
blew it out of the water, blew Raw out of the water. And I mean, it wasn't on the card. It was heavily rumored. Let's just get into Chris Jericho right now while we can. Once I said, I don't want to get my hopes up. I did not want to get my expectations up. And once they started teasing him more, I realized what they're doing. They're doing the whole Cody. They're doing the Punk thing. They're teasing the moves. You know, like when Cody was coming in, they knew for at least a month, and you would just hear the subtle, oh, it's like Seth Rollins is living in a real American nightmare right now. It's all subtle little things until it actually happens. The same thing happened with Punk. You had, I think, Shinsuke out of nowhere just drop someone with a go to sleep. And it's just like, all right, like the teases are there. We saw last night, we saw a code breaker. We saw a Walls of Jericho. We had a learning tree reference. I mean, you can be as subtle as you want. We understand what is to come, but now it's like, when is it going to happen? Because I know the Cody teases and the Punk teases lasted over, like, I think almost a month. So if it's all leading up to the Rumble, I'm assuming that's the next opportunity.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is going to be the Rumble, and I'm fine with that. I was hoping for more surprises out of this Raw, and there wasn't any. And I forgot the one other men's thing that happened was AJ and Gunther, which to me, I don't get it. AJ slapped Gunther and Gunther didn't do anything. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I was hoping for more surprises, some more call-ups, new characters, new superstars showing up on Raw to, stake a claim and be like, hey, I see an opening. I'm about to take this and run with it. Where's the Intercontinental Champion? He's hurt. Well, I'm going to train and gain my spot. So when he comes back, I'm going to take that championship. So I was really bummed to not see really anyone new take the mantle, besides Javon Evans. But again, like we said, that was a commercial break for us in the States. So I don't know. I know the women are set. We had 3 title matches, 2 title changes. Rhea and Io are the new women's tag team champions, which I knew was going to happen. I had an inkling that was move forward. Just that day, Monday night, I'm like, you know what? I think they really want to push forward with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, their 2 biggest women, and have championships on them and not be in the main event scene. And Matt said, who does Y2J feud with when he returns? I don't know. I have so many dream matches for him, especially this day and age in WWE with these new superstars. I mean, I would love Y2J and Trick Williams to get into it. I mean, I would be so pumped up to see that happen. So maybe that's my answer.
I don't know what my answer is either, dude. Like, on the mic, I want to see him go into promo battles with several current superstars. The matches worry me. Jericho's no spring chicken. We're hearing the rumors that he's in the best shape of his life. He's ready for whatever's next. But your body slows down. And I don't want him to all of a sudden get into a match with, let's say, Trick Williams or a Carmelo Hayes, and the match just doesn't work because it's, he's just not keeping up. So I'm not going to lie. The matches that Jericho will have over the next year or whatever this contract, if and when he does appear, it's kind of scaring me. He can talk. Lights out. Cannot wait to hear him cut a promo on WWE TV again. But the matches, I'm a little worried for.
Yeah, he's getting a little rusty.
Yeah, Matt on YouTube saying, we going Breaker Punk or Y2J Punk at Mania?
We will discuss that
a
little bit later when we do our bold 2026 predictions. Because I don't want to spoil my answers for certain things right now. So we will get into that in a bit. But yeah, I was really happy for the women. Liv Morgan, obviously, again, the big dub over Lyra Valkyria. I like that the Judgment Day are feuding with Lyra and Bayley. Bayley came out like a bat out of hell, chasing Roxanne out of the arena, which was hysterical. Do we know if Stephanie Valkyria is actually hurt? Are they writing her off because Raquel destroyed her?
So she is dealing with an injury. It's nothing that they're thinking is going to be too long-term to where she's going to have to relinquish the title. So I
Yeah.
think that's kind of why they did that spot, so they can give her maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks to rest up. Hopefully she'll be good for the Rumble. If not, a little bit after that, but
Yeah.
nothing too long term. It's kind of like what, Corey broke at Body Slam with the Dom news. Dom is dealing with something, but they want to play it safe with him. They don't want to risk it, risk any re-injury or anything. So they're just playing it safe, and he's not going to have to drop the title. And then they'll work him back in probably in like 2 or 3, 4 weeks.
Yeah, and there's enough champions on each show to not have at least Dom and Stephanie Bacare around for a bit. It sucks that they're both on Raw, but you have the women's tag team championships. You have maybe that's why they brought Becky back as IC champion, to have that main event player as a champion for the women, CM Punk. So, and how we forget the Usos. They had a promo on Monday night too, which was okay. But yeah, just the men got to step up on Raw, man. It was real depressing.
No, it's like we're beating a dead horse at this point. We keep saying it week after week after week, and we were happy with SmackDown. They went to 3 hours. They knew they had to bring in the troops. They brought back Cardona. I cannot wait to see Cardona, where they line him up. But they got to do the same with Raw, man, or it's just gonna. I don't know. Yeah. I don't have an answer.
Well, let's get into NXT predictions, man. We got New Year's Evil tonight. I'm pumped up. I'm very excited for this show. I mean, the card is pretty freaking stacked. I want to get into first. We can do Tatum Paxley as he Dame. I'll throw it to you first, Justin. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, I don't think the Righteous are showing up to help Tatum Paxley. I'll say that. It's got to be Tatum's turn, right? I think this is going to end up going into a grudge match, best of 3, where, they're going to have a I Quit match to really top off this feud or something like that. So I'm going Tatum. I think Tatum gets the upper hand here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. There's nothing more I can say about it. I think she deserves it. I think this will give her the upper hand, maybe put her back in contention for the NXT Women's Championship. But she's just so entertaining to watch. I love her gimmick, and it's her time to shine, man. People love her right now. People are behind her, so why not keep pulling the trigger on Tatum Paxley? We also have Thea Hale with Jordynne Grace in her corner against Blake Monroe for the Women's North American Championship. I mean, it's gotta be Blake, right? I mean, we spoke about this. You mentioned it. They had this whole plan for Blake Monroe leading into, this road to WrestleMania. Obviously, NXT is not a WrestleMania, but was it stand? I forget. Is it Stand and Deliver when they wrestle? It's their WrestleMania weekend show. But yeah, I think Blake Monroe is going to win this championship back. I think Thea Hale can, be proud of herself, even though it was a mishap that she's held the championship in NXT. It's not going to be the last. I think she has a bright future ahead of her. But Blake Monroe is a monster right now. She's going to get that glamour back, and she's going to take that championship back.
I'm with you. Blake Monroe and new to take back her title that she should not have lost. I find it interesting that Thea has Jordan in her corner. Now, we saw Jordynne Grace on SmackDown. It was said that was pretty much her call up to the main roster. So I'm wondering if she leaves on her terms, let's say. Like we've seen Blake Monroe in Jordynne Grace's corner before, and that's when we got the heel turn from Blake Monroe. Do we see something out of Jordynne Grace where she gets involved, and then all of a sudden we have a badass heel Jordynne Grace on SmackDown? I don't know. It's crossed my mind, because then obviously I just don't. For some reason, them having Jordan in this match says to me that she's going to get involved. Yeah. And if she's done with NXT, what better way to just say, I'm done with you. Screw you. Boom. I'm going up to SmackDown. And Thea loses.
My caveat to that is, if they want a good contender for Jade Cargill, I feel like she would have to be face.
That's true.
But if they want to start her off in the mid card and go after the United States Championship, I think that completely works. So it really depends on the level of faith they have in Jordan Grace and where they're going to throw her on the SmackDown card if she officially signs with the SmackDown brand. So, I mean, I think it will add a nice dimension to that match. I think either if Jordan accidentally screws over Thea Hale or purposely screws over Thea Hale, I think it'll be great. Blake will get her championship back. Thea can, go through that story of her getting betrayed and, finding herself back to hopefully a championship in the future. So, yeah, I'm down for that. I mean, Jordan Grace can play either side to me, and she's going to be a hell of an addition to SmackDown when that happens.
100%. 100%.
So, Justin, we have our friend JC Jane defending the NXT Women's Championship against Kendall Gray. How do we think this one's going to go?
Well, us and these JC Jane matches, man. I think JC retains, but my gut and my heart says Kendall Gray all the way.
All right, if you're pressing the bet on DraftKings, who are you pressing?
I think I'm gonna go JC.
All right.
And I don't want to. I don't want to go JC. I want to see Kendall Gray, but I don't know if they're gonna pull the trigger yet because of what I'm gonna say for the next match. So I'm gonna go JC Jane retains.
Okay. Yeah, I also want to say that Kendall Gray will win, but she's still the Evolve Women's Champion, correct?
Correct.
I don't think we're going to see a double champion of her to bounce between Evolve and NXT as the champion. Maybe they do it to show like, hey, even if you're an Evolve, you could become the NXT Women's or Men's Champion. But I go against JC a lot, and I'm wrong. So I'm going to go with JC. I think she's going to retain. She has more, backup in her corner. I know Kendall has Ren Sinclair, but, Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed are in JC's corner. So that's a 3-on-2. And if we're doing Steiner math, that's a 66% chance or whatever. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing math right now. But yeah, I think JC Jane does retain tonight.
Yeah, Kendall has a bright future, but I'm gonna stick with the JC Jane prediction.
All right, so now I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
As we mentioned earlier in the podcast, the women are showing out. We saw it on Raw. We're seeing it now with New Year's Evil. 3 women's matches, 1 men's. We have Obafemi defending the NXT Men's Championship against a insane. I forget what they call Leon Slater, the youngest in charge. We got the youngest in charge, the X Division champion, going against Obafemi for the NXT Men's Championship. So now I'm curious to know what your prediction is to this, since what you alluded to just before.
Dude, for some reason, something is telling me we're gonna have new. Something is telling me Leon Slater walks out of NXT New Year's Evil tonight and new NXT heavyweight champion. It's just, oh man, like we're getting the Oba call up soon. It's got to be happening soon. I think he gets called up at the Rumble. I think Oba is done with NXT by the end of the month. So what better way to show faith to Leon Slater, who you want to sign once that contract with TNA is up? What better way to show faith to TNA as a brand and a company saying, we just put our NXT World Championship title on one of your guys, than doing it with Leon Slater? I just have a gut feeling that Leon is walking out tonight as a champion. I don't know if there's outside help. I don't know if there's anything, but for some reason, something is telling me new Leon Slater double champion.
Dude, I agree. I got the chills thinking about it too right now. I really think there will be outside interference. I think TNA is going to show up in troves. I think they're going to come out and help Leon take that championship. And it will be awesome because then we'll have another, side to this angle, TNA versus NXT, now with a TNA guy holding the NXT Men's Championship hostage. And I want that so bad, man. I think it's their turn to say, you've taken enough from us. Now it's our turn. And we've seen that a little bit. So I want it. I feel it in my bones. I love Obafemi. He's my man. I want him to get called up. So I want him to shed this NXT past and, push forward into the main roster as a force to be reckoned with. And why not put the youngest in charge of NXT, man? I want it. The promos that we see, they're interviewing all TNA and NXT superstars, saying who do you think is going to win? It's a different vibe, man. It's 2026. I think they're ready to pull the trigger on a TNA guy to be the NXT men's heavyweight champion. So I'm right there with you, man. I can't wait. I hope it happens. I'll be rooting for it. And if he doesn't, hey, Obafemi's still a champion. I'm still happy regardless. So let's get it.
Right. And if they want to make a statement, that's the statement to make. Put the title on Leon. Just do it. You know that you want to call up Oba anyway. Like you just said, I didn't even think about the TNA other talent coming in and helping him, but that can absolutely happen. You're right. And it would be great because then finally TNA can say, screw you guys. We have your main title. It would be perfect. Perfect.
We're a mere hour away.
Yes.
Almost an hour away from NXT. I'm pumped up, man. I can't wait to watch it. But before we get into our 2026 predictions, I do want to hit what Matt just said, saying, is he the only person disappointed with the standard match in the 3 stages of hell match? Yeah, I mean, I am bummed. I don't want a singles match, just a normal wrestling match as the first stage. It makes sense, right? Drew mentioned that, Cody, you're a traditional professional wrestler. I'm doing this for you. I want to beat you in your just normal setting of a match because Drew hasn't won those matches, those singles matches directly against Cody. But yeah, dude, what it should have been, freaking Texas Bull Rope match, man. Stick it. If you want to stick the Dusty thing, that would have been the perfect other stage instead of a singles match to throw into that 3 stages of hell. Because just watching Drew beat Cody in like a Texas Bull Rope match would have been epic as that first stage. And then Cody has to step up. I forget what the second match is. It's Falls Count Anywhere, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I just think what I think is going to happen with that match, I think Drew's going to get himself disqualified in the singles match by using a weapon to then pin Cody in the Falls Count Anywhere match after he abuses him with the weapon, and then they lead into that steel cage. That's how I think that's going out. But hey, I guess we'll see.
The one thing about 3 stages of hell, and I'm also a little disappointed with the standard match, but I feel like the standard match is always somehow roped in to almost every single 3 stages of hell match. The one thing that you always know is going to happen is it's going to the third fall. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen a 3 stages of a hell match end in the first 2 where one of the wrestlers just got swept. So you're right. Like, which one is Drew going to win? Will he win 2 out of 3? Some people would say that they would like to see that happen. We'll see what happens.
Spock Jones would say he'd like to see that happen.
Yes.
He might go to WWE headquarters and just fight everyone if Drew loses on Friday. It just might happen.
I truly think a lot of people are going to do that. People want to see it, man. People are tired of seeing Drew get just
shit end of the
I don't want to say, I don't want to say cheated or anything, but yeah, the shit end of the stick. I like that. I like that terminology.
Yeah. Well, let's get into our 2026 predictions. I'm pumped up for this. We're going to go through the key marquee matches like the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, yada, yada, yada. Who we think is going to be the champions or winners of those key marquee matches and PLEs that are coming up. So obviously, later this month, we have the Royal Rumble. We have the men and women's, obviously. This is going to be our start to the road to WrestleMania. And I'm curious, Justin, who do you think is going to be your men and women's Royal Rumble winners?
So for the loyal listeners, I spoiled my answer to this. I
did
believe
too.
two or 3 weeks ago. So the loyal listeners know what my answer is to both of these, and I believe we're going to get a returning Bianca Belair. I think we're going to get Bianca winning the women's Rumble, and I think we're going to get a returning Roman. I think we're going to give the men's Rumble to Roman Reigns, and then that can build towards whatever we're going to do, whether it's going to be Cody and Roman part 3 or something else. But those are my 2 guesses.
Matt's got Braun Breaker and AJ Lee. I love that. Those are some good picks. I'm right there with Justin. I think we were both in agreement. I think it was 2 weeks ago when we spoke about this that I think they're going to go with the return factor this year. I think they want a Roman Cody part 3 to headline WrestleMania. And I think we're going to get a Jade Bianca matchup because of her returning. And I think that'll work very well. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait for that. I guess we will see what happens. We should have thrown in what numbers we think they'll show up. I think Roman's going to be 30. I think Bianca will be like 21. Just my guess, but yeah.
I think if we're just going to throw that out there, Bianca's going to be like 11. And right. Roman, I think for the men, it's usually that last spot where the major surprises. So unless the major surprise is Chris Jericho, then I could possibly see Roman. Hell, I'm going to go Roman 1.
Wow.
Roman from the 1 spot. Roman from the 1. I mean, what other guy is going to run the gauntlet like prior times other than Roman Reigns? Like, let's be real. It's Roman. Roman's going to show his dominance, and Roman from the 1 spot.
All right, I dig it. So now we're going to go with the Elimination Chamber winners, which will also have title matches at WrestleMania. And I'm going to pick a page out of Matt's book. I'm going to say Braun Breaker for the men, which is how he'll get his rematch against CM Punk at WrestleMania. And I think Liv Morgan is going to weasel her way into a WrestleMania championship match this year.
Damn. And so like, I fully agree with you on one of them. And I was going to like change my answer, but I'm not. I think Braun Breaker. I think you are completely dead on with that. I think Braun Breaker wins the Elimination Chamber, and that brings him to Punk again. And then that's where I think Braun Breaker wins. Yeah. I think Breaker will beat Punk at WrestleMania. For the women, I mean, how could you not say Liv, right? But I'm going to go a little different here. I am going to go with a veteran female superstar that has been giving back a lot. And I think she deserves more flowers than she really has been getting. So I'm going to go with Bayley.
Love it.
I would love to see Bayley win the Elimination Chamber. She obviously just had that all women's quick weekend wrestling camp that she put on for free. Like how do you get better than Bayley?
She showed up for TJ Wilson did a seminar at Creative Pro.
She was at Creative Pro.
Yeah.
So I mean, Bayley's amazing. So I would love to see Bayley get the spotlight at least one more time. So I would love to see Bayley win an Elimination Chamber, go on to Mania, and become champion.
That'd be awesome. I am for that. So let's go into Money in the Bank. I want to see your thoughts. Who do you think is going to hold that briefcase for the year 2026 and maybe into 2027?
So Money in the Bank. Usually you want to give it to like one of the up and coming stars, right? And hopefully they don't go the Austin Theory route where they get a failed cash in on a United States Championship cash in. For the men, I'm going to go Jacob Fatu. I think he's coming back from his hiatus pretty soon. That's what I've been hearing, is that we will see Jacob Fatu back on TV very soon. I mean, I would think by the Rumble. And his momentum before that was insane. Jacob Fatu is an incredible athlete, an incredible performer. So I would love to see Jacob Fatu win the men's Money in the Bank briefcase. And then as for the women is a tough one. I would for some reason, Lyra Valkyria is sticking out to me, but I don't know if I want to go with her. So give me a second. You give your predictions, and then let me come back to the women's.
I'm so disappointed in you. I'm gonna go with my women's
Chelsea?
first. I think it's gonna be Chelsea freaking Green as Money in the Bank this year for the women. I think she's been obviously kicking ass. She's been AAA, NXT, SmackDown. You know, she's been grinding. She just lost the United States Championship, but what better way to rebound and get the Money in the Bank briefcase? And she can make that shit last. And how awesome would it be if Chelsea Green was the one to dethrone Jade Cargill, who is the dominant force on the SmackDown women's division at this moment? So I would absolutely love to see that happen. And they should reward her for the work she's putting in for cross branding week in and week out. So that's why I'm going to go with Chelsea Green as the women's Money in the Bank winner.
Listen, I didn't say Chelsea because Chelsea's afraid of heights. I was doing that for Chelsea so she didn't have to. She's already going to be a champion by then. She's going to get a belt back. Actually, now that you bring up Chelsea, I think Alba Fire will be the women's Money in the Bank winner. So then you'll have Chelsea as a champion. You'll have Alba in the Secret Service holding the briefcase. And then I don't know. Do we have a mole in the Secret Service that turns on Chelsea and cashes in? I don't know. But Chelsea does not like heights. She would much rather win a championship or an opportunity not having to climb a ladder. So that's why. But yes, Chelsea's the best.
I don't know, man. I think she conquered that fear. She climbed the ladder.
I mean,
she got pushed very far through tables the last time she was up on a ladder. So I think she's conquered that fear. I guess we'll see. But that would be cool. That would be a cool angle. And also, like, you know what I would love to see instead of the mole of Alba Fire? I would love to see her pull the Christian to the Luchasaurus, to the kill switch, where Christian takes his chance and cashes it in and wins it back. That's what I would love to see. If Chelsea took Alba's Money in the Bank briefcase, cashed it in for her to use, and won the championship back. That would be hysterical. And that would be on par with Chelsea Green.
That would be. That's actually a really great idea. I love that. It's just, I feel like it has to go to someone up and coming. And Chelsea, when we wanted her to win in the past, she was kind of starting to get that rise to where she is now. Chelsea's up there. Chelsea's at the top. So I don't know if Chelsea necessarily needs the win for the Money in the Bank, but now I love my Alba Fire prediction. So I'm going to go Alba and you got Chelsea.
All right. And then
who do you have for the men's? Yeah.
Dude, I'm going Logan Paul, dude. I don't know, man. I have a weird feeling. I think you're probably more on point with the Jacob Fatu decision, but I feel like, you know, we can't stray away from the vision. I think that this is in my eyes right now with Braun Breaker as the world heavyweight champion. They're going to want more championships as they are the future, right? We saw the future written on Braun Breaker's singlet last night. I think that they're going to have Logan in that match, and I think they're going to have him win and maybe try and fight for the WWE championship, or maybe they try and make him face, which I don't think is going to work, and then go after a Braun Breaker. But yeah, I have Logan Paul in my sights as the men's Money in the Bank winner.
I like that answer too. Logan's a stud. We all know that. And he would fit the mold. He would definitely fit the mold, and then he could be holding that in the vision. And then, like I said, with the factions, man, they don't last forever. So if all of a sudden he turned on whoever the champion is at the time, Braun Breaker, who knows? That'd be a great idea.
Yeah. All right. So I want to hear your king and queen of the ring. Who's going to head on to SummerSlam to fight for their brand's championships?
For the men, I'm going to go with Tricky. I'm going to go with Trick Williams. I think it would be a perfect spot for Trick to get into that spotlight, especially at one of the major 4 pay-per-views, PLEs. So I would love to see, and Trick would just fit that persona perfectly. Like what other man right now on the roster would you be like, oh, that person would be a great king of the ring? It's our boy Trick Williams. So I'm going to go Trick Williams for the men king of the ring. And then as for the women's, the women always stump me, man. I'm gonna for some reason, I'm feeling that Julia is going to become the queen of the ring. I don't know why, but I feel like by then she'll drop the United States Championship, and then she can focus on that, the tournament, and she'll go through and win.
I dig it. So for me, I'm picking for the King of the Ring. I'm going to go Seth freaking Rollins, a returning Seth Rollins at some point. I think he'll win that to go to face Braun Breaker to try and win his championship back. And then I'm doing what I wanted to happen this past SummerSlam, but reverse it. I think a returning Naomi at this point. I think if she comes back, she'll be by the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring tournament. She should be back from baby leave. She should be healed by then. I think we get a Naomi, Queen of the Ring, to fight Jade Cargill at SummerSlam for the championship. That's where my mind's kind of going with that.
That's full circle for you. That is total full circle for you.
I'm trying to get my points back from last year's prediction.
No, I like that idea too. It's just, this is what I love about like these bold like predictions for 2026 is we could be absolutely wrong, but when we hit on them, it's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, we knew
Run that clip back, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we have, before we get into who's going to end the year as champions, we have one more. We have the Crown Jewel Championship, and I'm going to go with, we're going to have a Braun Breaker and Jade Cargill Crown Jewel champions. I feel like they're both going to have a very dominant year. I don't think they're going to drop the championship at this point. I think they'll both head into this moment, and I think they'll both take that Crown Jewel Championship. So that's where I'm feeling.
Crown Jewel champions. I'm just awful, just complete right. First name that came to mind, Becky Lynch.
Okay,
I think
I like it.
And for the men, I'm gonna go Gunther.
All right.
I think Gunther is gonna win. I also think Gunther's gonna retire one or two people in 2026. I think he's retiring AJ Styles, and I think he's retiring Brock Lesnar. He's the retiree. You go to him to get your retirement check. That's how that's working. So that's another bold prediction. I think Gunther is retiring Lesnar and AJ Styles and perhaps Chris Jericho. But that I don't think would be until 27.
Yeah, I agree. He's gonna choke everyone out. Just all our memories, all our idols besides Brock Lesnar. Yep. Just gonna choke them out. All right, I dig it. I'm a fan. So last but not least, the new legend killer here, or what they said, the career killer.
The
buzzword, the career killer. Can't have the legend killer, but he can kill some careers. Great. Good job, guys. Good job, creative. Anyway, who's going to end 2026 as our champions? I'm going to give you first. You want to do Raw or SmackDown?
I'll go SmackDown.
All right. So who is ending 2026 as the WWE men and women's champion?
I think Friday is going to be very telling. If Drew doesn't come out on top again, I think Drew's the champion at the end of the year. There's no way in hell Drew is going 2026 without being a world heavyweight champion. So we're actually, no, regardless, Drew McIntyre is going to be the SmackDown men's world heavyweight champion on December 31st, 2026. And then for the women, I'm going to, you know what? She's just got called up. I'm going to go Jordynne Grace. I think I can see Jordynne Grace ending the year as the women's heavyweight champion.
I dig it. I like that. I like that idea because that means she probably dethroned Jade. And I think that'd be a perfect way to dethrone Jade if it's not Naomi or Bianca. But yeah, I completely agree with you. I wrote Drew McIntyre down. I don't think he wins this Friday, unfortunately, because I think, again, my prediction, Roman Cody 3 at WrestleMania. But I think he'll definitely end 2026 as the WWE Undisputed Champion. And then I don't think Jade's going to drop the belt. I think Jade Cargill is going to end 2026 as the women's WWE champion. So that's my thoughts on that.
Okay. And we have in the chat, Matt saying on YouTube, sleeper pick, Dirty Dom, Money in the Bank.
Oh, that's a great
in.
pick. That is a great pick. I
Dirty
should have
Dom
thought
is
of that,
sneaky.
man.
Dirty Dom is sneaky.
I was thinking sneaky Logan, but Dirty Dom's a lot sneakier. And I think that's put it on note right here. Matt just said on YouTube, he's picking Dirty Dom, Money in the Bank, winner 2026. Said it here first live. Wasn't Ty, wasn't J Star. It was Mr. Matt over there on the YouTube. So I like that. Good call.
And who you got for Raw?
I don't think Braun Breaker is not. I think Braun Breaker is going to end 2026 as the champion. I think they're going to go full force in the Braun Breaker, basket. I think they want him to be the future. He is the future. The dude has taken this profession by storm, as he said in his promo against CM Punk. And I think he's going to lead the division through 2026 as the World Heavyweight Champion. And then I have a feeling, dude, I think Raquel Rodriguez might be ending 2026 as the women's World Heavyweight Champion. So I feel like this is where Liv might become champion again, and we have the crack in the Judgment Day. But I think we're going to be seeing, which I think they're kind of leading to, where Raquel kind of sees herself away and kind of feuds back, because it looks like Liv and Roxanne are getting buddy. So that's why I'm going to go with Raquel Rodriguez ending 2026 as the World Heavyweight Champion for the women's.
So I agree with you that Braun Breaker is going to become world champion in 2026, but I don't think he's ending 2026 as champion. I think we're going to get L.A. Knight, as the World Heavyweight Champion to end 2026. The fans have been clamoring for it, just like with Drew McIntyre. He's the face version of Drew, right? He gets the opportunity and he just comes up short every single time, to the point where once it happens, the crowd is going to erupt. And for some reason, I think that he's fine. He's got to be World Heavyweight Champion at some point in 2026, in my eyes. So for me, it's going to be LA Knight as the men's champion for Raw. And then for the women, I'm sticking around where you are with the Judgment Day, but I'm going to go Roxanne Perez. Now, you pretty much just said it. We're seeing Liv and Roxanne starting to become a little sneaky. I think Roxanne is going to outsneak Liv Morgan. So I was between Liv and Roxanne, but for some reason I feel like Roxanne is going to somehow outsmart the mastermind that is Liv Morgan. And I believe we're going to finish 2026 with Roxanne Perez as the Raw Women's Champion.
See, I was teetering between Roxanne and Raquel. I was trying to figure out where I think which would fit better, and I think they both have a very good opportunity. And as for LA Knight, dude, who knows if he'll still be in WWE by the end of 2026? You think? I don't know, man. I feel like he's so fed up with everything that's been done with him, but maybe, they say patience is a virtue. So I guess we'll see an LA Knight ending 2026, possibly as the World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, maybe.
He deserves it.
Happened.
Yeah, he deserves that. They're bold predictions for a reason, right? I think he deserves it, and hopefully he will grab that. But before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to shoot a prediction on?
I don't know, man. I just want the people. I want the people in the comments on the socials. Give us your thoughts. I want to see who's gonna predict properly. I want to see who's gonna pick a decision we didn't think of or didn't think it was even possible to shock us and be Money in the Bank winner, Elimination Chamber winner, Crown Jewel winner, ending 2026. Hell, maybe Dirty Dom ends 2026 as World Heavyweight Champion. Who knows? I want to see your thoughts, people. Get there in the comments, either on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you are. Let us know.
Yeah, you have Matt here on YouTube. Why didn't I think of that? LA Y2J promo kills.
Yeah, dude.
But how does that match look? Well, that's
Sloppy.
what we get back
It's
to,
real-
right?
it's
I
real
literally just
sloppy.
said that. Yeah, I literally just said that. You know, Y2J promos against anyone. Like I'll go see a promo battle with Y2J, but once we get to the match, that's where I kind of get a little nervous. But if he's in the best shape of his life, he's a professional. He's been in the wrestling game for 30 plus years. So who am I to say that he can't have one last good run with WWE? But with that said, if there's nothing else going on in the chat, let's ring that bell. Because this podcast episode, this 10 count podcast episode is over. Thank you all so much for joining us, all 326 of you right now live in the chats, whether you are on YouTube, X, Twitch, TikTok. I don't know where else we're live, but we're live everywhere. Please, as you can see down below, please go subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon. It is $5 a month. You get the breaking news, exclusive interviews, and more. Hopefully we'll have a interview or two lined up within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Thank you all for joining us on a Tuesday. That is on me. My wife and I are going on a vacation. On Thursday, we will be going down to St. Martin for my wife's best friend's wedding. So first vacation since the baby was born. So looking forward to it. So thank you all for joining us on a Tuesday. Thank you to Ty for being able to do a Tuesday rather than a Wednesday. But yeah, top left corner, you have at the 10 count pod on all socials, especially YouTube. I still have a goal in mind that I'm not telling anyone unless Ty knows. But trying to build up that subscriber count. And yeah, go follow Body Slam at Body Slam Net on all socials. You can follow me at JStar02 on X. You can follow Ty at TLP_maximum on X. And then last but not least, we have, if you look in the top right-hand corner right now, you scan that QR code and it will bring you to prowrestlingtees.com/the10countpod. And you can go and get our shirts, our official podcast shirts. If you purchase one, you support the show, and we would absolutely love that. So until then, enjoy New Year's Evil tonight. Let's see if we have new. I think there's a good chance that we might see Leon Slater and new. I'm hoping, fingers are crossed. And then just enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy SmackDown on Friday. Enjoy TNA on Thursday. Enjoy AEW on Wednesday. There's just wrestling every single night of the week, and we absolutely love it. Have a great weekend, everyone. We will not have a quick count this Sunday because I will be away. But we will see you back next week for the 10 count podcast. Until then, it is Ty, it is J-Star, and we are out.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you!
Oh,
Thank you!